But I'm coming back if I go 10,000 miles. If I go 10,000 miles. Oh, P.I., my beautiful home. There's a place where I was born, and the moon and the stars that shine make me long for home. Oh, P.I., my beautiful home.
Hello. Old P.I., or Palm Island, is one of the many hundreds of tropical islands which are strung along Australia's northeastern coastline between the mainland and the Great Barrier Reef. But Palm Island is more than just another island. Oh, it has its waving coconut palms and its long sandy beaches and its jungle-covered hills like all the others. But it has something more. It is the site of a bold experiment. I'd like you to meet someone from Palm Island. This is Miss Pam Bly. Pam, you are an acting sister at the Townsville Hospital, and you were born on Palm Island. Before we take a look around, I'd like to ask you a few things about it. But first of all, how old are you?
I'm 22 years of age.
And how big is the island?
Well, roughly, Palm Island is 8 miles by 4.
And how many people on it?
I think now there are 1,400 people living on Palm Island.
And what is Palm Island?
Well, Palm Island is an Aborigine settlement. In it we have our hospitals, churches and schools.
What do people do?
Well, we've got a domestic science for the young girls that have left school, and nurses' aides, the hospitals, dressmaking, boat builders, carpenters, plumbers.
And what made you decide to become a nurse?
Well, young girls on Palm Island, they leave school, they get married and have a family. Well, I wanted to do something more than that, and that is to become a nurse.
And did you have problems? Did you find it wasn't easy to do what you wanted to do?
Yes, I found it very hard to go nursing.
For instance, was the standard of education right for nursing?
No, I left school.
At which grade?
7th grade.
Yes. And did you need more than that?
Yes, I needed an 8th grade education, so I had to go back to school to do an 8th grade.
And then when you went across to Townsville for your training, did you miss the island?
Oh, I missed it very much. I was homesick the first 6 weeks.
And what stage have you reached now?
Well, at the moment I'm doing my final exams.
And what happens when you pass?
I'm a sister when I pass my final exams. And at the end of the 4 years training, I hope to do a course in obstetrics in Melbourne.
And what do you intend to do after that?
Well, I'd like to go and work in the outback where the medical help is needed most.
Well, thank you, Pam. I'd like to take a look at the island now, but how do I get around?
Oh, you could go around on a push bike.
Is that how you did it?
Yes, that's how I did it.
I wonder if I can still ride a bike. I can try. Can I borrow yours?
Oh, yes, you can.
Oh, P.I., my beautiful home. There's a place where I was born, and the moon and the stars that shine make me long for home. Oh, P.I., my beautiful home. P.I.'s my beautiful home. P.I., my home, sweet home. I'll be there forever. Sun is sinking, farewell. Take me across the sea, over the deep blue sea. Darling, back to my home in P.I. P.I.'s my beautiful home. P.I. my home, sweet home. I'll be there forever. Sun is sinking, farewell.
To help the Aborigines take their place in a civilised community, the Queensland Government maintains several centres like this one on Palm Island. One of the island's oldest inhabitants is Fred Toomba, a full-blooded Aborigine from the mainland. Pam Bligh arranged for me to meet him at the old people's home, and when I rode down there, he was waiting for me.
Ah,
Hello, Fred.
hello.
Tell me, how old are you, Fred?
Oh, about 66.
And how long have you lived on the island?
Oh, about 20 years, I think.
Seen a few changes?
Yes. A lot.
And what was it like when you first came here?
Oh, well, it wasn't like this before.
What was it like?
It was all glass building they had here on this place when I first come here.
Yes. You used to build them yourselves?
Well, yeah, some of the boys used to build it themselves. They had carpenters, too, but some of them used to build it themselves.
And where did you come from?
Charter Stowers.
What sort of job did you do?
I mean, stock riding.
Stock riding? What sort of pay did you get? Was it good?
Oh, very small.
What was
About
it?
5 bob, I suppose.
5 bob a week or
5 bob.
a month?
Yes, you could say a month, too.
Not very good.
We never used to think about money them days much.
Things are much better now.
Oh, yes.
Why did you come over to Palm
Oh, I
Island?
come over here to see some friend that I know who left way out there.
And you decided to stay?
And when I came here, I stayed here then for about 12 months. From that day till now, I'm always coming back and forth here.
What tribe did you come from? Fred, what was your tribe?
The Gujal.
The Gujal.
Yeah.
And what is this that
This-
you were painting?
It's a weapon that a native used in the wild time.
And tell me, have you ever made boomerangs?
Yes.
How do you make them? What makes them come back? I mean, I know you can buy them and throw them and they don't come back.
Yes,
What makes
well,
them?
Oh, well, there's a way of making them. You got to make one side flat and one side with it's round. And the round side is the balance. It brings it around. That's the weight.
So when you throw
If
it,
you make it both the same side, it won't come back. It'll go straight ahead.
so when you throw it, if the flat side is
Underneath.
down,
And the
the
round
weight
side
brings
on top.
it around and back.
Yeah, the round side is just like that now. You can see that. You look at it there.
Yeah.
Both sides are the same, eh? Well, if you flatten this side, it'll be... And if you flatten it underneath here and have this on the round on the top side,
It would come back.
that'll make it come back. That's the balance.
Do you need any special wood for it? Or if this piece of wood were made like that, would it be...
No, I think... No, it'll be a little bit too light. You'd have to have it a little bit heavy. Heavy it is, it's the better. That's if it's light, it won't come back.
Yeah.
You know, if it's too light, it won't go against the wind if
Yeah,
you throw
yeah.
it.
What about bull roarers? Are they weapons?
Which-
You know, the I don't know what they're called, but it's a stick with a hole in it, and you whiz it around your head, and it goes zoom, zoom. What is that?
They're only to frighten children, you know, anybody when
Are
they're
they?
away.
Oh, I thought it was a weapon. We used to make
Yeah.
them at school with a
Yeah.
ruler.
Yeah.
Put a hole in it and put on
But
a
these
piece
smaller
of...
little boys go away playing about, the big fellas will go around behind them and swing this thing. They think it's a ghost or something, and they're off when they hear it.
Oh, I thought it was a weapon. And how do you like living on Palm Island?
All right, very good.
Things very good?
Oh, yes.
And you think it's a good idea to bring you here to rehabilitate you so that you can
Oh, well,
go off if you want to?
yeah, but you can go out when you when you want to see the boss and let you go. And, all right, for a few weeks or a month, might find a job or something like that. Stay out for a while and come back here again. But outside life is not as good as what it is here.
No, I wouldn't
Better
think it
here.
is. Very good, yes.
If you went outside and had to earn your own living and to look after yourself, it'd be pretty tough, I think.
Tell me, Fred, were you ever married?
Eh?
Were you ever married?
Married? No. Well, I was going to get married, but the girl I was going with, he wanted to go easy road, and so I said, right, you go, and I'll go mine. That's the way we ended up.
You came here, good.
That's better better than fighting.
Yes.
Isn't it? So I ended up here now and just walking around.
Well, you look very happy.
Oh, yeah.
Turning from the very old and their conditions on Palm Island, I found that the administration cares for other ages too. Basic rations are issued regularly to all native families. But nursing mothers receive special attention. Gone are the days of a pound of flour and a stick of tobacco. Today's ration lists read like a diet chart in any child welfare clinic in Australia. Fruit, eggs, milk and butter are included in the ration on PI. Young mothers receive training in child care, and the children themselves are looked after in a creche. Mrs. Bartlam, the superintendent's wife, and the sister in charge are very proud of their special responsibilities. And these Palm Island children are just as sweet and lovable as children anywhere in the world. Domestic science is another part of training for these native girls, who learn home management and food preparation. And what happens to the food? These happy youngsters from the kindergarten next door wash their hands, wait patiently, say grace, and behave like children anywhere. Schooling on PI is much the same as any state school in Queensland.
Madam, I'd like you to meet Miss Abigail.
How do you do?
Girls and boys, I'd like you to meet Miss Abigail.
Hello.
Sometimes, teacher takes his pupils out of the classroom into the shade of a burdekin plum tree on the island's coral strand.
Well, I know this isn't your usual classroom, but I think it's the nicest one I've ever seen. I wish I'd had a classroom like this. And don't you think all the boys and girls that live overseas are going to be very envious when they see the kind of classroom you've got? Yes, on this beautiful tropical island. And now, I think you're going to sing me a song. Would you like that? Yes. What if I've heard you singing in your classroom, and I think there's one about a black swan. Do you think we could hear that? Yes. Now, very loudly. Shall I count you in? Right. 1, 2, 3.
My black swan sage to bandu paipa. Deya mata ma to ban paipa. Mata lugi mata no sarina. Mata tai tai ta dayanuga. Mata tari you like it. Why sarang sagira paia in an eye black swan sage to bandu paipa. Deya mata ma to ban paipa. Mata lugi mata lo sarina. Mata tai tai ka dayanuga. Mata tari you like it. Rai sara sagira paia.
Well, that was beautiful. Now I'm going to sing you a song. Are you wanting to cough? You can cough if you want to. Now I'm going to sing you a song about a frog. And I'd like you to help me sing it. But I'll show you first what I'd like you to do. Now, Mr. Froggy went a-courting and he did right, That's it. On the second you say, nice and loudly. And whichever way I say, or whatever I say, if I say woof woof, you do it too. Right? But you have to listen very carefully so you can hear what I'm doing. Mr. Froggy went a-courting and he did ride, Mr. Froggy went a-courting and he did ride, a sword and a pistol by his side, He rode till he came to Miss Mousie's door, He rode till he came to Miss Mousie's door. He gave 3 taps and a very loud roar, He went right in and took her on his knee, woo-hoo. He went right in and took her on his knee. He said, Miss Mouse, will you marry me? Mouse, she said, I can't answer that. Mouse, she said, I can't answer that until I've seen my Uncle Rat. Boo, boo. When Uncle Rat gave his consent, When Uncle Rat gave his consent, the weasel wrote the publishment. Scribble, scribble. Who will the wedding guest be? Who will the wedding guest be? A little ladybug and a bumblebee. Oh, the first came in was a little black dog. The first came in was a little black dog, chased Miss Mousie up a hollow log. Oh! Oh! The next came in was a big black snake. The next came in was a big black snake, gobbled 'em up like a piece of cake. Oh! There's bread and cheese upon the shelf. There's bread and cheese upon the shelf. If you want any more, you can sing it yourself. Oh, wasn't that fun? Yes. Now, where's Tommy? Tom? Come on, Tommy. Tommy's going to play the... What is it? Is it a concertina or a button accordion?
Accordion.
A button?
Yes.
Accordion. All right, Tommy. Well, you sit down. I'm going to sing Walking on the Green Grass, and you're going to play it, aren't you? Right. Walking on the green grass, walking side by side, walking with a pretty girl, she will be my bride. Now we form a round ring, girls are by our side, walking with a pretty girl, she will be my bride. Walking on the green grass, walking side by side, walking with a pretty girl, she will be my bride. Walking on the green grass, walking side by side, walking with a pretty girl, she will be my bride.
The administration tries to keep the island as self-supporting as possible. Although only 38 square miles in area, with a population of barely 1,500 people, much is being done to achieve this end. Under the guidance of the superintendent, Roy Bartlam, the natives run their own herds of cattle for meat and milk. We drove up into the hills and he showed me where timber for the island's building program comes from, in their own forest. This little fellow is a ring-tailed possum, and we found a home for him with the girls at one of the island's dormitories. Isn't he a sweet little fellow? Not far from the timber getters, other islanders work in the pineapple plantation, learning to use modern machines and modern methods. In the sawmill, natives work the saws and planes, receiving pay and rations for their labour. Like Pam Bly and her nursing, these men are learning to be full-time citizens of our own modern society. Others are learning to use precision tools and work in metals, all part of an overall plan to lift these people from conditions such as they were 5 years ago. But this is the settlement as I saw it, built by their own hands. One of the community's most spectacular efforts is the construction of their deep-water boat, the Kiroo, an Aboriginal word meaning seagull. With a model of the craft in the background, Mr. Bartlam showed me the plans of Kiroo, but I was not to see the craft itself until the day I left the island. I was able to see pearl diving on the reef from what they call a barge. 2 Torres Strait boys from Thursday Island showed me how they bring shell to the surface from the bottom, 20 feet below. Back on Palm Island, work was over. Some of the older men showed me how they danced corroboree in the days gone by. Pam Bly sat with me while some of the younger girls showed me their version of the hula. And the boys from Torres Strait tried to recapture for me some of the background that was theirs years ago. The significance of these dances has long been lost. Once upon a time they may have been dances of war, dances of love, or dances of greeting. But now they are merely recreation after the day's work of trying to become part of another way of life. Then it was time to say goodbye. The Kiroo was waiting, and the whole town, it seemed, had come to say farewell. It was a sad farewell, as all farewells are, as I left behind me these people who are trying so hard to become part of our way of life.
Say goodbye to you, farewell, my granny, how we are, say on, say we'll go back to Roma, Roma, Maria, Maria, we must say goodbye to you, farewell, my granny, how we are, say on, say we'll go back to Roma, Roma, Maria, Maria.
And that was old P.I., with its high hopes and its warm, kindly, simple people, with a million years of culture behind them, and who are trying so very hard to live in our society. The superintendent and the small group of teachers and administrators who live with these people are confident they will. Now that I've seen the work they are doing, I am too. Well, that's about it until next time, so it's goodbye.
Da 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 dum da dum da da doo da 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 da. Oh, P.I., my beautiful home, there's a place where I was born, and the moon and the stars that shine make me long for home. Oh, P.I., my beautiful home. P.I.'s my beautiful home. P.I., my home, sweet home. I'll be there forever. Sun is sinking, farewell. Sun is sinking, farewell. I'm gone away for to stay a little while, but I'm coming back if I go 10,000 miles. If I go